I've mended something! Really do.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another how-to video. Today I will be installing component speakers in my MR2. Component speakers, for those that don't know what they are essentially speakers that are all split up. That's the best way of putting it. You can get car speakers that have tweeters built in on the centre of the cone like that, and you can get ones like this that are split up, and you can even get them that split even again, and there's like another speaker in the middle. These all are called component speakers, hence why they're made up of separate components. I'm going to be installing them in Dave, my MR2, because his audio is terrible, and someone's played around with it in the past, and his amplifiers and other speakers and so many tweeters in there. It's horrible to listen to. So I'll be ripping all that out. So, two videos. This video is how to install the component speakers, and then over on my second channel, Bluey's Garage Extra, it will be a full video on how I've ended up removing whatever wires and whatever stuff I find in Dave. So that'll be a bigger video, but just on general audio. But this is the how-to video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and have a look at what we need to install the speakers. So hopefully this should cover most things that you're going to need to upgrade your speakers. So first off, you're going to need your speakers. If you plan on testing on the bench like I did, you're going to obviously want a CD player. Could be the one in your car that you remove or something. You need something to power it. Wires and that, so we've got RCA leads, there's some speaker wires there, there's some wires I use for earth and power, more wires I use for earth and power. Then you're going to need an assortment of screwdrivers to remove whatever it is you need to remove, like your trim tools. Something you might need to use to take your door cards off. Obviously we have some tape for the connections, some wire strippers, I've got cutters, I've got some different sort of connections that you might need, and a knife, you never know. I'm just trying to cover all bases of what you might actually need to do this. That should be pretty much 95 to 99% of what you might need for your car to remove your speakers and fit your new ones. So here we have our FLI box. Open them up. Warranties and templates, it's always good I suppose if you're cutting out stuff. We have a speaker and some screws and some locking rings for the tweeters. We have the tweeter itself. There's a tweeter, there's its little crossover, nice, and the sticky pads. And then if we go all the way to the bottom, we should have another speaker. Hopefully pull out. Here we go. Another speaker. Oh look, we've got some mounting brackets on this one. Mounting bracket, tweeter cup. I hope there's two in this box. Tweeter, yeah look, there's the cup. And the crossovers. So now we can hide all these boxes out of the way, and we can have a look at what we've actually got in our kit. So if we go ahead and unbag the speaker, you'll see that we have this lovely, nice little cover that we won't be using. Vibe design, so FLI is made by design, I thought it was. FLI is made by Vibe, sorry. We have a protector, obviously that would go in there, and you would screw this onto there, but I haven't got the room in the car, so we're going to mount just the speakers. We have a nice little picture on the speaker. Fake metal looking plastic cone. Feels good, good movement. Nice magnet on the back. These are the Comp 6s, 255 watts peak, with your connections just there. There's one. So then we go ahead, get a tweeter out, get rid of this lasty band. I feel like I'm 18 again, because I used to do loads of speakers when I was 18. I had a right boot build in one of my cars. I had new speakers everywhere. And there is the tweeter in its little case cover, and I assume that that can come off and it can be pushed onto the back of that should you want it, if it's going to let me. I assume, yeah, the wires would go through there, so that could come off somehow. I'm not really bothered right now, but that would mount onto there. take that back one off, mount onto there, and then you can mount them on like your dashboard or something. That's what them mounts are for. So pretty cool that they come as part of the kit, because they weren't expensive, like I said. A couple of mounting brackets, and then last but not least, the crossover itself. Take these bloody tape shut. Come on. Come on. There we go. So, quite small, this crossover. Not bad, I suppose. It saves space. So what a crossover is, for those that do not know, you have two wires that run into it that will come from the amplifier. Let's say this is the left hand side speaker, so in the left hand door you'll have the two wires that come from the from the actual amplifier, or just from your CD player if you don't have an amp. The sound goes in and the sound comes out and it gets split, so it will send the high notes to the tweeter, which is that one, tweeter. So you'd plug the tweeter into that, and then the low notes, the WF, the woofer, would have this one, and that is that speaker. So that will go to there, and that will go to there, and that is how it splits the notes up. So I'm going to turn this bad boy around. I love this new mount. What I'm going to do now is get a CD player out, somehow connect it up to my battery charger, wherever that may be. See if I can get YouTube playing on it with some NTS music, no copyright music. Connect up the speaker and see if we can see it all working. That is the plan. We'll test it working, and then we'll have a look at ripping out. I'm filming this video in two different ways. There's a how-to video for Bluetooth Garage, and then there is a big overall video if you want to see it on Bluetooth Garage Extra, which is where I've got to rip out all the old speakers and stuff like that. So if you're watching this on Bluetooth Garage, you're purely watching just the how-to and how to fit the speaker, but if you want to see how I end up dealing with all the big wires and the mess, check out the other part of this video over on Bluetooth Garage Extra. Links are in the description. So check out my rigged up system. So I have my battery charger over here running power, which I have plugged into the power leads of this auto pumpkin unit, which I loved. It was fantastic, and I had it in a few cars, but it's spare at the moment. Got just a one set of wires running to the crossover, which is then running to the woofer and to the tweeter. And as you can see on the screen, we have Cartoon On and On, which is one of the songs I play quite frequently at the moment in my videos. So it's an NTS one. It's currently on my phone, NTS, so I can play this in the video and there will be no copyright. No copyright issues, YouTube. So when I press play, it will be loud, or loudish. Good that. I don't know what it sounds like on a camera, on the audio of filming. I have no idea, but in person it sounds good, and you can really see the movement when it's doing the bass notes as well. So hopefully you should be able to feel it in the car. But that is one speaker Jerry rigged up, and it works in the garage, which is awesome. My battery's about to die on the camera, so I need to get it charged up before we do the next bit, which will be ripping out the stuff in the car. So now that we have tested that the new speakers work, which they should work anyway, because they're new, we need to go ahead and get them fitted into the car. Now, this car has already got aftermarket speakers in anyway, but I'll explain the only thing you'll need to do if you have standard speakers. You just need to cut the ends off and put some new wires on. But yeah, so I need to remove the door card, and we're going to start on the driver's door. This door card is dead easy. There's a screw there, there's a couple of screws across the bottom. That lifts out, there's a screw there, and then bang, presto, job done. So I'm going to get this door card off now. So what I have here is a tweeter that's hanging by a thread, and then I have this cheap nasty speaker that I bought just to put in because the speakers were knackered. To be fair, I already had these anyway. I already had these from years ago, but they were only like 10 quid a set or something, or 5 quid a set. They're not great, they're very high pitched, and there's like no bass from them. So they're only held in with 2 screws actually, with the looks of it. And I'll undo that, and then we'll get to the wires at the back, and then we can place our new ones in. But we also need to find out where we're going to run our wires for our tweeters, and where we're going to put our little component splitter block thing. So I need to have a look at the shape of the back of this door card and put it somewhere where it's not going to get hit with anything. So let's get this speaker out with its 2 screws. I will come back to you when I have 2 hands and I've done this. So there we have the speaker that I've pulled out. It said Nikkei Home Auto or something like it says on it. But again, it was just to replace the knackered speaker when I first got the car, and I already had them anyway. But you can see all the metal filings that stuck to it. This is very interesting. So you can see just in the crease of the door that whoever run the wires, they run them on the outside of the protective coating, but I'm not really bothered about changing that at the moment, so I'm going to stick with that. But you can see there's 2 lots. So there's obviously 1 lot for the tweeter, which will be this one, and then there's that one for the speaker. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect our component splitter onto these wires here, and then that will split the sound from that will then send to the new woofer and then up to the tweeter. So I need to disconnect this, and I'm going to just pull the wire down and tuck it down at the bottom, and then we need to disconnect that and connect the component thing on, somehow mount that somewhere and hope for the best really. I've got the window down in the door at the moment because that's going to show me where I can actually mount something, so I know I'm not going to hit the glass. Alright. So for those of you who have like standard speakers in your car, you will have a set of wires that probably have a plug on more than anything, that will be connected to the loom. Now if you're connecting some aftermarket speakers on, you're going to need to chop the plug off like someone has done here, and you're going to need to put the terminals on that fit your speakers. So whether they're spade and buckets or bullet connectors or something like that, that's what you're going to need to put on. Now I'm lucky enough that someone's already gone through the effort of running these extra wires. Granted, they're not running where I want to run them. I'd rather run them on the inside of that, but maybe there's no room inside that grommet that goes through. But I've got these spade and buckets, so I have put, sorry, they're the buckets. I've put the spades on the end of the wire that go to the splitter box, this one. I'm going to try and put everything in there and keep it nice and tidy, because then I can just run the wire up here for the tweeter. All the wires and the splitter will be in the back of there. I'm going to tie wrap them out of the way. It's out the way of the window. Doesn't mean I don't have to run anything down here, don't have to interfere with anything. I'm not going to have them sat into the bottom of the door, because the bottom of the door can collect water when it rains, so it's going to be sat up to the sat up off the bottom, tie wrap to the loom, so it doesn't hit anything, and I also stop it from rattling as well. So theoretically I can just plug these in now and these all work. Why don't I do that? I'll do that. So we are listening to some good old-fashioned static, because static is non-copyrightable. So the sound coming out of there, not sure if you can hear it, and then the sound coming out of the main speaker, as well as sound coming out of that speaker down there. So we're all good. There's no sound coming out of this tweeter back here. Which, for the time being, I'm just going to tuck back in there. Might actually leave them in just to fill the hole so they look a bit neater for now. But sweet. Now I just need to get everything tucked up, pushed in and tidy. That's the best way of saying it. Cool. So the wires are all in there. I've taped the big bunch of wires up around each other so it's like a big ball. And then I have tie wrapped the crossover part to the loom. I have enough wire up here, enough wire up here for the tweeter. Sorry, I should show you on the camera. Now it's time to put the speaker in. Now, these speakers come with 8 holes, normally 4 to mount it and 4 to put the cover on the top. We're not using the cover because obviously it's behind the door card on these. A lot of cars come with 3 holes, which it's just how they come. So you tend to find that you'll have to drill some holes. Now, because this has already had aftermarket speakers in, there's already a couple of holes already drilled. So drill 3, drill 4, however you need, how many you need to keep it nice and tight and solid in the door so it doesn't move and vibrate. I do recommend obviously tie wrapping stuff out of the way to stop them from vibrating so you don't get any rattles in the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the speaker inside the door now. So once you're all screwed in and it's nice, tight and solid, it's just a case of remounting your door card and then somehow fitting the tweeter. So for the moment I'm just going to put the door card and hang it back on and leave the tweeter hanging over, because I don't know if I need to take it out of that cover to fit into my actual tweeter lens bit, this bit, or what yet. So I'm not sure, so I'll cross that bridge when I've got the door card on. So quickly I'll whip that back on. You've watched me take it off, so I ain't going to show you me putting it back on again. So the tweeter front I've took off. Yeah, I suppose theoretically I could take the back off, but I'd have to undo all the wires and take the door guard back off. So I ain't going to do that for now. I'm going to put that in there, wedge it, and of course this is all foam backed. Put that over it at some point like that. There we go. Tweeter is in place. How easy was that? Just got one more door to do now. I just thought I'd quickly show you on the passenger side. This is what this particular standard plug for the speakers look like. And somebody's ringing me, but I thought I'd quickly show you. And there we are. There is the old speaker. There is the new speaker. The tweeter's hanging. Now it's time to quickly put the door card back on. We're all back up and running. We're all put together. And we're playing NCS music. Oh, it was, but then I got a notification. You're not going to be able to tell the sound difference on the camera, I'll be honest. I love it. Right, punchy. That's freaking awesome. Now, there's a couple of reasons why it's really awesome. I'll turn the volume up somehow. It's because it's powered by an amp. So it's putting more power into it, so there's more of a kick, there's more of a punch, and I can tell that in the notes. It's not like there's a subwoofer bass, it's not like that at all, but it just makes it punchy on the beats, and it's really, really, really good. Really, it sounds pretty awesome, to be fair. That was a very good upgrade. So that is how to install some door speakers into your car. The best way I can do it with a car that's already been modified. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you may have learned something from it. I know the outcome was worth it because it's amazing. It makes such a difference, but that's because I had a crap setup before, and what I've done is I've adjusted it and I've changed the wires, and things are just better than it was before. So I hope you've learned something from this. You know, I've enjoyed making this video, as I always do. If you want to see the other version of this with more information or more random stuff in, please check out the description below and go to Blue's Garage Extra, and you will find the other, like, it's almost like a part 2, but there's just other stuff involved, stuff with the amplifier and things like that. So thank you very much. Stay humble, guys, stay safe, of course, and I will see you very soon in another video. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
I've mended something!
Really do.